Welcome back. So it's been a long time, so get cozy, maybe grab a drink, settle in for a bit because today's episode is going to be a special one. Today we're talking about something horses have taught me over and over again: patience and trust. These two things are so connected that you can't really talk about one without the other. Horses don't rush trust, and they definitely don't rush patience. If you spend enough time around them, you begin to realize they are quietly teaching you both at the same time. Let's start with something simple. Trust isn't loud, it isn't dramatic or obvious, it doesn't need to shout to be noticed. Real trust stands quietly in the background and appears when you need it the most. Horses taught me that. When you first start riding, or when you've been riding for years, you expect some big moments to prove that trust exists. Maybe a perfect jump, a smooth gallop, or a competition win. Those are the moments people celebrate, those are the moments people photograph. But that's not really where trust lives. Trust lives in the quiet moments before the ride even begins. It lives in the moments when you tighten the girth and your horse stands calmly beside you. It lives in the moment when you place your foot in the stirrup and swing into the saddle, knowing that the animal beneath you could easily overpower you if they wanted to, but they don't. Instead, they choose to work with you. And that's choice. That silent agreement is trust. When you stand next to a horse, everything about you comes out. If you're scared, the horse feels it. If you're tense, they know it. If you're upset or distracted, they pick on that too. Horses don't care about the words you say or the image you try to show. They care about your energy. They respond to what truly you bring into the arena, not what you pretend to bring. And that's the first real lesson. The first time I truly realized when I hesitated before I asked my horse to move forward. It was such a small moment that most people watching it probably wouldn't have noticed it. I gave the cue, but deep down I wasn't fully confident. I didn't completely believe in what I was asking, and my horse felt it that instantly. It hesitated too. In that moment, it became so clear to me. If I didn't trust myself, how could I expect my horse to trust me? Because this happens in with life all the time. We hesitate, we become indecisive, we ask for things without really believing we deserve them. And people, just like horses, sense that uncertainty. Horses simply reflect it more honestly than anyone else ever will. They show us and you exactly what the bring into the moment. Trust starts with horses isn't built through control, it's built through respect. And when you think about it, life works the same way. Friendships, relationships, partnerships, they all go through respect first. With horses, there's always a small moment before every ride begins. It's a split second where you decide who you're going to be that day. Are you going to be the onshore rider, the one who doubts every step, or you're going to be the steady one? Horses don't follow noise, they follow certainty. Not arrogance, not force, but quiet, grounded confidence. That kind doesn't mean that need to prove itself out loudly. The day I stopped asking my horse to move on and telling them with calm clarity something changed, not in a forceful way, but in a calm, steady way. They listened, and in that moment I understood something much bigger than riding. If you don't trust your voice, nothing else will either. From the outside, people often see the exciting parts of riding. They see the gallop, they see the jump, they see the ribbons, they wins the perfect ride. They might look at the rider and say, she's got a good horse. But they don't see what stands behind those moments. They don't see the effort, they don't see the hours of training, they don't see the quiet work that happens every single day, they don't see the early mornings at the stable, they don't see the sore muscles, they don't see the days where things go completely wrong, and they definitely don't see the falls. All they say is perfection. But every rider knows that perfection is just the surface. Behind is patience, behind is trust, behind is the moments where things didn't work at all. Riding teaches you that progress doesn't happen in straight lines. Some days you feel unstoppable, other days you might feel like you forgot everything you learned. Sometimes you lose your rhythm, sometimes you lose your confidence, and sometimes you completely lost in a moment that wish you could erase. But those moments are not failure. They simply stages of growth. They're difficult parts of the journey that shape you into a stronger and rider and stronger person. If you keep going, if you keep showing up, eventually something shifts. One day the ride feels smoother, and one day the horse responds in a way that they never did before, and one day you realize that something which one felt impossible now feels natural. And suddenly those moments that once felt like losses turn into quiet victories. Every time I've hit the ground, I had two choices. I could walk away or I could rise stronger. And every time I climbed back into that saddle, I wasn't just proving something to my horse. I was proving something to myself. Because courage doesn't mean you're never afraid. Courage means you ride again anyway. The most powerful lesson horses have ever taught me is that they reflect on what you bring to them. If I walk into that arena scattered, distracted, or unsure, my horse will show it immediately. The ride becomes tense, unbalanced, uncertain. But if I step in that arena grounded, calm, and focused, something incredible happens. A horse rises with me. Horses demand alignment. They demand honesty, and that's why I admire so many riders such a deep connection to them. Horses don't care about performance the way people do. They care about presence. They don't follow a mask. They follow intensity. Those who follow you are truly in that moment. And that's why patience becomes so important. Horses don't rush learning, they don't rush trust, and they don't rush measure progress the way humans do. They simply respond to consistency. Day after day, ride after ride, moment after moment, and slowly, sometimes so slowly that you can't even almost don't notice it. The relationship grows stronger. The cues become lighter. The communication becomes clearer. The connection becomes deeper. Until one day you realize something amazing. You and your horse aren't just riding together. You're understanding each other, and that's the kind of connection can't be forced. It can only be built through patience, through trust, through time. And that's, my dear risers, is the true art of horses. Thank you so much for listening to episode 8. This topic actually goes back to a blog I wrote a while ago. So if you'd like to read more about it, I'll leave the link down below in the description. I really hope this episode reminded you that every ride, even the messy ones, is a part of a journey. Thank you for spending this time with me, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!